fuck? You know, just when I thought I had this whole setup ready to go here, my camera zooms in for no good reason, apparently. Hey guys, what's going on? So, today I wanted to make a very, one of my more scientific videos talking about weight loss. I'm going to talk about low carb diets, keto, that sort of thing, and whether or not it might be for you. Now, here's the deal. Right now, it's the beginning of March, and if you want to get shredded for the summer, I suggest you start now or sometime soon. If you're severely overweight, it might take a little bit longer. If you're obese, you're probably not going to be shredded by then. But again, keep in mind, guys, I want you to remember one thing. The summer is just one part of the year. And if your goals are oriented around one part of the year, you have unsustainable fitness goals. And the reason that I say that is because, look, there are a lot of you guys are beginners, you just started in January, whatever the case might be. That's fine. I want you guys to be part of the fitness community. But keep in mind, this is a thing, this is a lifestyle. You do this for the rest of your life. This is how you're going to live. The way that, Western civilization has us eating, the way that the world that we live in, the food culture might be tasty, but it's not sustainable for your entire life. I think that people get caught up in the mix with all these things that are supposed to be treats that you're only having, once a week. Making that a staple of your diet, it's not a good thing. And I think the more that people get away from that, the better. And, the healthier lifestyle you're going to have. And now, despite me saying that, keep in mind, I want you guys to realize something. Macronutrients are king, right? I want you to count your macronutrients and especially count your calories. I've actually been talking to a couple of my friends recently who want to lose weight for the summer, and I want to help you guys. And for any of you out there who want my specific help to specifically help you, get in touch with me via direct message. Some of you might have my email. Whatever the case might be, find me on Facebook. I will hook you up. I do online coaching as a side thing. And I'll talk to you about my pricing. It's very, very affordable. I have a low-cost strategy when it comes to this sort of stuff. It comes with a couple free Skype sessions or, video calls, whatever it might be, Facebook, whatever. Anyway, now that my plug's out of the way, right, I want to talk to you guys about losing weight. Now, I have a couple videos about this already, and some of you guys already know what I think about this, but I always have new people coming to my channel, and I want to reiterate some of the things that I've said in the past, perhaps a little bit more articulately. So, where to begin here? Right now I'm at my computer. I'm looking at a study basically describing ketogenesis. I want to talk about that. But guys, one thing that you got to keep in mind is this. Some people want to lose weight. Some people want to lose fat. There's a big difference there. Some people want to lose fat and gain muscle. You're going to lose weight. You're going to lose muscle weight and water weight and fat weight, adipose body tissue. If you want to lose fat, you're just strictly losing fat. You're going to try to maintain your muscle as much as possible. Some of you are going to be able to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. It's a very, very specific situation that you have to be in, but if you're a beginner, that's one of the situations. You have to have very clean nutrition. You have to be training and exercising, and you have to be basically hitting the weights. So what I'm strictly going to talk about today is aesthetics point of view, and maybe a little bit of the health sort of thing here too. So basically, we want to lose fat, we want to build a little bit of muscle, right? Because if you're going to lose fat and there's nothing underneath the fat, you're going to be skin and bones. So you want to have at least a little bit of muscle. Even for you ladies out there, you want to have a little bit. Now, I know you guys don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to get big. You're not going to get big, okay? You don't have enough testosterone in your system to get big. Unless you start, yeah. So, that's that. But if you're going to lose weight, 2 things. Eat less. Eat a little bit less. Do a little bit more exercise, like Scooby says. Drink a little bit more water. Now, the water, you need to stay hydrated. The water is there for 2 reasons. Number one, you really need it to survive. The downside of not having water is that you die, which is really bad. You're going to fuel your workouts. If you're dehydrated in the gym, or if you're dehydrated while you're training, you're up to 19% weaker. So keep your water in. Also, the more water you take in, like if you're on a cut and you're at the last stage of the cut, you're trying to get shredded, you're trying to lose some water weight. More water is going to, the more water you take in, the less you're going to retain in your fat cells and in the rest of your body. Now, I don't recommend that for long term. But if you want to look really dry, or if you're in a powerlifting competition, something like that, you're trying to make weight, and we can talk about that later, but more water is a good thing to get rid of the water weight. But again, you need water, and that's not a healthy thing to be doing too often. You don't want to have too much water and constantly be urinating out your vitamins and minerals. So there is a limit on how much you need to have. It's around 4 liters a day is usually what I'd recommend to people. So that's the water thing out of the way. But when it comes to eating less, you need to figure out what your basal metabolic rate is, add how much activity that you have to that in terms of calories burned, how much you're expending, and then eat underneath that. If you want to gain weight and gain muscle at a rapid rate, then eat above it. But if you're trying to get shredded for the summer, eat below that. Your protein, I recommend 1 gram per pound of body weight. And yes, the data says that it's roughly 1.6 to 1.8 grams per kilogram, which is a little bit less than what I recommend. But some of the data, I've noticed from an anecdotal perspective with myself, if I get 1 gram per pound, that works best for me. I gain strength best on that sort of diet. Take from that what you will, but I recommend 1 gram per pound of body weight. Carbohydrates. Carbs are not the enemy, and we're going to talk about ketosis now. So you need carbohydrates to fuel your training. Now, if you want to do a low-carb diet, short term, I find them to be quite an easy thing to do. But the thing is, when I did mine, I had been lifting for 2 years at that point. It was my second bulk. I wanted to cut down, and I found that it was a very high satiety diet that I was eating. I was able to eat a lot of good food, but keep in mind, I wasn't doing the ketosis thing. I was at roughly 100 grams of carbs, anywhere from 100 to 150. I wasn't down at 0, I wasn't down at 30, I was at 100. So I still had some carbohydrates in my system to keep myself going. It was a low carb, excuse me, not a no carb diet. Now when it comes to fats, you need fats for your hormonal function. If you don't have testosterone in your body, which is created with cholesterol, as a man, you're not going to gain as much muscle as you possibly could. You're also going to suffer some health concerns. So for women, you might lose your period. Being straight up with you here. That could happen if you're on too low of fats. Too low of calories, it could happen too. If you're a man, if you notice that you've lost your endowment in the bedroom because of your diet, It's time to put some more fats in your diet. That's just the way it is. There are some other concerns that you can get into too, but when it comes to ketogenesis and the ketogenic diet, you know what? I'm going to make a separate video about that because this has already gone on long enough. But I don't put any of my clients on a ketogenic diet, and I'll tell you about that later in the next video. Now, when it comes to exercise, okay? If you want to lose weight, you need to exercise. You can out-eat your exercise, but that's why you have the food, your food plan and your exercise plan working together. So you need to do cardio. Specifically, if you want to lose weight in any regard, you just need to do cardio. That is very, very important. You need to do some form of cardio. I recommend finding some kind that you like. For me, I get enough cardio from doing Weichiru karate, and if I need to do more, I'll hit the bikes. Any sort of martial art, any sort of swimming, any sort of sport. You know, it doesn't have to be martial arts. You could be a basketball player. You could play volleyball on the beach, whatever the case might be, as long as you're burning calories, as long as your heart rate's up, usually above and beyond 140 beats per minute. I think 170 is a little bit much. But if you're healthy, do it. What else here? Oh yeah, the weights. You got to hit your weights, guys. If you want to build muscle, there's no way around it. You need to do resistance training. Again, my channel is filled with a lot of videos about how to do that, but you need to do heavy compound movements. Hell, even do some single joint isolation work. But that's how that's going to work if you want to gain muscle. So that's pretty much it as far as how to lose weight. And again, guys, I recommend if you want to have like that muscular, shredded look, do your cardio, get your food right, do all that stuff that I talked to you about. But the main thing is that you are below your calories. You can be on a ketogenic diet or an Atkins diet, which I don't recommend, by the way. You can be on a paleo diet, whatever the case might be. But if you eat over your calories, you will not lose weight. I can't stress that enough. And I know a lot of you guys who are out in the fitness community, you're like, yeah, we know that already, whatever. But look, I've seen it. You would be surprised how many people don't realize that calories in versus calories out, how much that matters. And it does. It is the main thing. There's a little bit more to it than that, but if you want to lose weight, you have to be below it. There's no going around that. If you want to gain weight, you have to be above it. If you want to be the same weight, you have to be about the same. For your total daily energy expenditure. You can Google that, you can find out what yours is, or you can hire me to do it for you and I'll help you out in a few more ways. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. I'm going to make another ketogenesis video. I've actually got a study up here, and I'm going to discuss it a little bit. So, yeah, so thanks for watching the video. Please remember to hit like, remember to subscribe. I'm going to do a subscriber giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. We're a long way away from there. We're going to get there. So, again, guys, thanks for watching the video. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.